Saturday, it's 8 o'clock in England, and I'm doing Facebook Live. And tonight I will start topic how to make felt making process less physical. Is it really possible? We all know how time consuming it can be, how much physical work need to put in rolling and rubbing to make sure we have beautiful item. And not many of us have, how can I say correctly, 100% well-being, perhaps, to really do this physical process non-stop. I'm sharing tips with you from my own experience and what I learned from other felt makers. You know, we're not going to start with felting. Felting is not the first stage to make felting more enjoyable, less physical. We have to look straight away into our workspace. I always felt and do layout on my table raised. And you can raise your table. There are special furniture blocks which you can buy on Amazon. They come block of 4 and you can raise your table. If you make a small project, you might use kitchen worktop. If you make a big project, and when I ran workshops before lockdown, I had few students who literally could not stand and do layout. So what we come up with, we put table in the middle of the studio, and I got the office chair on these little wheels, and they were just woozing around the table doing layout, sitting in the chair. So this is about our workspace. Very important to have materials appropriate to our projects, and materials which are good quality. First of all, when we're talking about quality, we know that wool, if you store wool for a long time, especially in plastic bags, that wool can start to felt. What can you do? You can take your wool, you can take plastic bag. I just try to find the bag. It was somewhere here. Zip bag. I thought I prepared. So I cannot see. Anyway, so use a zip bag, put wool inside of bag, add little bit of water and put in microwave for a few minutes. Then leave wool to cool down. Then wool become fresher. Okay, and often our wool comes like this. Yeah, wool. This is how I send to my customers, just like this, in a little bundle. Before felting, night before, I undo my bundle and leave in my room, ready for our project. What else you can do? You can refresh. Doing this, refresh your wool. Okay, just teasing your wool. What happening? Wool rowing start to open up. The quality of felt start with quality of layout. Okay, and obviously felting can be affected by quality of layout. So this is another tip for you. The same you can do with fiber. with viscose silk. And if you work with silk hankies, I would recommend iron silk hankies first, and then wear latex gloves and separate them. That's much easier. So you prepare your materials before you start your felting process, or not felting process, you start in a layout. Right. What else I want to say about materials? Okay, yes, different wool felts differently. From my experience, merino wool, quite similar to Carridale. You will find so many different colors of Carridale. When you touch, there are similarities. From my experience, merino wool felt better and faster than Carridale. Take this in consideration. The same with other wools like we discussed last week, Butts and Berkshire felt greatly, while some thicker wool like Pirendale and some others you might need to spend more time felting. Take that in consideration too. That's about materials. When you do layout, you can prepare for your layout in advance too. You can get A4 white piece of paper like this. That's my daughter's project. Okay, and make layouts, either herringbone or clouds or traditional, on pieces of paper, and then stack them. Okay, you're stacking all this layout in preparation for your project. You can do the same with fiber. If you're laminating your project completely with fiber, okay, or you can use, like we discussed last Saturday, you can use buds, and many felt makers use buds for wearables like 18.5, 19 microns and merino and other thickness, and use buds for other projects. It does speed up your process of layout. To be honest, for me, from my experience, layout can take longer than felting, especially big project. In this case, take breaks. You don't have to finish your project in one go, your layout, unless you have a cat or children. Well, by the way, if you have cats, you know, cats love wool. So if you can protect your wool layout, at least cover and leave in the place, if you don't have studio where not going to be disturbed by others, you can leave and come back next day, or at least have a cup of tea before continuing. I know I'm the same. I really want to see results. We have to finish this project. No, we don't. Enjoy each stage of felt making. When you finish your layout, water your layout. I do not use hot water. I use either warm water or room temperature water. I add olive oil soap. By the way, I use gloves, plastic gloves. I put net, I do a little bit of rubbing, and you can leave your layout overnight. You can also roll your layout, obviously cover with some plastic, and leave even for a few days, as long as it doesn't go smelly. Okay, and then when you leave overnight, what happens? Wool has lots of scales. Scales start to open up, and they're ready to join when we add friction. I learned this trick when I was recovering after cancer and I was very impatient to felt. I did not have strength, and I was doing everything very slowly. I was putting music, and then I remember I was so tired to do felting, and I just left overnight. And I did notice how quickly it started to felt. That time I did not use sander. That time I did lots of rolling, and I was very cautious with sander. So that's a few tricks for tonight, and I really want to spend more time on felting, how correctly to roll. Make sure you don't put strain on your back and on your wrist and arms. How correctly to do sanding and fulling, to make sure again it's not just about felt. When we're doing fulling, we obviously looking at felt quickly to shrink, but at the same time we make sure that wool does not eat all fiber aggressively. We also think about us, how to do this very gently, but at the same time fulling happens fast. And I really want to concentrate more on this topic next Saturday, and I just want to look into chat, and I invite you to continue this conversation. Put tips, share your experience. Felt making has to be enjoyable process. If we spend so much time on layout and felting, especially when we're standing up. So that's few tips for tonight, and I will post this on YouTube, and I will convert into blog, and that video will be on Facebook as well, for you to come back. Just think about whole process, not just felting, starting from preparing your workspace, your materials, your layout, every stage to make more enjoyable, less physical. Okay, I will be back next Saturday at 8 o'clock, and we will be talking more about felting, and fulling, how to make that process less physical, and how to roll correctly. And I learned how to roll correctly from Natalia Barshevetska, my friend. Many of you know her. Natalia, who is well, she's famous for her felted boots, but not only. And when she came to England and she saw me rolling, that was 6 years ago, and she stopped me and said, "You're going to kill your bag. Stop it. Do rolling dance." So I will share more tips next Saturday. Okay. Thank you so much for being here, for giving up 20 minutes of your time. I really hope these tips helpful. I share them all the time in my classes. I always looking how to make that felting process less tiring, how to make layout process more enjoyable. That's why I do lots of preparation before the layout. Thank you so much for your attention. All the best. Happy felting. Have a good relaxing weekend. Good night.